Do you love to entertain? Whether you love it or not, you may find yourself with family and friends on your doorstep during the holidays. Are you afraid of judgment now that your table doesn't have any meat? I want to help you. Hey there, I'm Terry with Globally Delicious, and I share tips on how to create a plant-based lifestyle that goes beyond just recipes. If that's something that you're into or want to be into more, hit the subscribe button below and look for a new video every week. And if you have something you're struggling with on your plant-based journey to be 100%, comment below and I'll personally help you out. Today we're going to look at 3 different scenarios and I'll give you suggestions on how you can make simple, elegant, and delicious options for your guests and ensure that they never miss the meat. Just because the holidays are here doesn't mean you need to freak out or consider reverting back to the way you used to eat just for the holidays. I know that the struggle is real. It was for me. Food emotionally connects us to people, experiences, and certain points in time from our past. Think about it. Is there a dish you always enjoy once a year at the holiday gathering? Okay, don't judge me, but the one dish that I remember relishing all holiday meals was canned cranberry sauce. Oh my God, I couldn't get enough of it. I could have literally eaten the whole can. As a matter of fact, there was a joke that if you wanted cranberry sauce, you had to get some before Terry. I can't even imagine eating that today because it's so loaded with sugar and all kinds of ingredients that I just don't eat now. And you know what? Cranberry sauce is actually one of the easiest things you can make yourself. The idea of that cranberry sauce brings back memories of my grandma and other family members. You can break the cycle and create new memories and food associations. Just because it's the holidays doesn't mean you have to fill yourself up with processed food, sugary sweets, or animal products just because they bring back memories. You get to choose and you can make new traditions and memories. Today I'm going to share with you 3 different options. First, I'll show you how to make an amazing appetizer spread, no fake cheese or meat. Second, I'll show you how to host the talk of the town, a very special, unique dinner. And finally, I'll show you how to make a dessert bar. Okay, let's look at what you can create. Let's talk about appetizers. Appetizers are a great way to ease into your dinner party, or they can be the main event. There are a few things to consider with appetizers. Today, I'll share with you my process for putting together an appetizer spread. Let's dig in. The first thing I like to consider is how much of the meal appetizers will cover. This will determine how much you make. Are appetizers just going to be served before your dinner, or are appetizers the only food you'll be serving? If appetizers are going to be served before dinner, you may only choose to have 1 to 3 different options. If they're the main event, you'll want more quantity and variety. The next thing I like to decide is a theme. I love to think of a theme when entertaining because it allows me to make everything come together. A theme can be cuisine-based. For example, if I had a Mexican theme, I might offer a few different salsas, guacamole, a couple different tortilla chips for dipping, and maybe even like a nacho bar with different sort of beans and toppings. If I had a Mediterranean theme, I might offer a different variety of hummus and different varieties of crackers and vegetables for dipping, and maybe some side dishes like dolmas and vegan kofta. Instead of a theme by cuisine, you can also do a theme by holiday. Appetizers for any holiday can help to add to the festivities with color and texture. Depending on the type of event you're hosting, consider how your guests will juggle a drink, a plate, and be able to eat. Even if your event is more of a mix and mingle, try and offer finger food that doesn't require utensils. And if you're having like a game night or an event with a lot of seating, you can choose to have a lot of different types of food since everyone will be sitting down. So it could be more hearty. Finally, think about what type of food you can make in advance of your event. For example, dips are really easy to make the day before. Today, I'm creating this appetizer spread with a holiday theme. I purchased these tree cones and I'm adding food to each one. I decided to cover each cone with plastic wrap because I didn't want my food to touch the plastic cone. Since I'm doing this for the holidays, I'm mostly sticking with red and green. In order to prepare this ahead of time, I cut and prepare all my fruit and vegetables. That way I can use toothpicks to put it all together a few hours before my party. I decided to prepare 3 different options for each tree. Once they are all put together, I'll take a look at what's missing. Are there any little spots open? And then decide how I can add a little extra to each display. In addition, I'm creating a cute wreath design with broccoli and tomatoes and serving it with hummus. I decided to do 2 different types of hummus and put it in one serving dish. So I have a spicy roasted red pepper and a garlic, and I feel like the 2 flavors will go together well as they meet there in the middle. To bring it all together, I'm adding a little height and interest to my serving platter. Either of these options could be a standalone appetizer. Once I place the main items, then I'm going to add some extras like crackers, nuts, fruit, and I decided on some rosemary for a really beautiful scent and some added interest. Creating a beautiful and delicious appetizer spread can be easy with a little advanced planning. Your guests will never notice meat and cheese is missing if your options are creative, beautiful, and tasty. Enjoy the process as well as the main event. Want to know one of my go-to meals that I make for special occasions? I'll give you some hints. It's unique. It's a crowd pleaser. It's super easy, and your guests will mostly do their own cooking. Wait, what? Can you guess? Give up? Okay, my go-to meal for special occasions is fondue. It is our annual holiday tradition and something I make for almost every special occasion in our family. It works for small groups of as small as 4 up to large groups of 20 or so. And it's the perfect meal to connect with each other over conversation, laughter, and good food. I like to think of it as 3 separate courses: appetizers, the main event, and dessert. And oh yeah, as with everything I do, it is 100% plant-based, and no one will miss that there's not meat. But wait, you might be saying, isn't fondue all about cheese? Well, yes, traditional fondue is pretty cheese and meat heavy, but it doesn't have to be. Let me show you what I do. To make fondue and serve it properly, you do need a couple of things. You need a fondue dish and a raclette. The fondue dish will be for the appetizer and dessert courses, and if you only have one, you can just wash it in between. The raclette is for the main event and will be used for everyone to cook their vegetables. If you have a large crowd, you may want to get 2. I find that 1 will work for up to about 8 or 9 people, all very cozy. And I have these fun fondue dishes for serving, but that's totally optional. Finally, you'll want to have a supply of fondue forks. Now, unlike when you have raw meat for fondue, you don't need to change the fondue forks, but you might want to have separate ones for dessert. One of the best things about having fondue is that you can prepare everything but the chocolate dessert sauce ahead of time. And having a little break between the main course and dessert is okay. Most people like to take a little break between courses. So let's get started. Today, I'm going to make a creamy red lentil sauce instead of cheese. This sauce has a bit of an Indian taste, so I'm going to serve it with some homemade pita bread, sliced apples, and crackers. The other dippers that you could use if you wanted to would be some roasted potato slices, broccoli, or even some sort of sourdough bread. The lentil sauce and pita bread can be made a day ahead and reheated in the fondue dish. All you have to do is slice up the apples before serving. And if you want to slice the apples ahead of time, just dip them in a bowl with water and sea salt and place them in the refrigerator. They will stay unbrowned and look just fine for up to about 12 hours. One of the reasons I like to use a sauce like this is because it mimics the idea of a cheese sauce because it's creamy, very dunkable, and it has really good flavor. But it is clearly not a cheese sauce. It's different. So no one will say, ew, that doesn't taste like real cheese. And it's not like it's trying to be the same. It stands on its own, and it's a unique alternative to a traditional cheese fondue. The second course, or the main event, will consist of a variety of cut up vegetables and some dipping sauce. This can also be made in advance. Today I'm making 3 sauces, and I usually like to do about 3 sauces. My world famous peanut butter sauce is number 1, and seriously, if I didn't include this with any fondue meal, there would be mutiny in my house. I'm also serving my tomato chutney and a ginger dipping sauce. Now, my tomato chutney is something that I can during the height of tomato season, and it's perfect for occasions just like this. There are many other dips that you could include, like sometimes I make an apple butter mustard, a chipotle ranch, a vegan tzatziki, or even a tahini sauce. There are a lot of options with sauces, and you can create ones that pair well with the vegetables that you're serving. And hello, folks! This is what is so brilliant about serving fondue. All you have to do is cut and mix. Your guests will actually cook their own stuff. I like to elevate each vegetable offered by seasoning it up ahead of time. I just use a complementary combination of spices. For example, I have a little soy sauce on the bell peppers, some sage on the zucchini squash, some crushed garlic on the onions, and rosemary on the potatoes. And I find the easiest way to do this is to just slice my vegetables, place them in a Ziploc bag with the seasoning, and shake. And I even just use the same bag for each vegetable. It's okay if the flavors mix a little. And that makes cleanup really easy. Since I cut everything in advance, it gives the vegetables an opportunity to kind of marinate in the spice. The one exception is potatoes. Now, I cut my potatoes ahead of time, but I place them in water in the refrigerator so they don't brown. So similar to apples, if you're going to cut it ahead of time, you want to make sure you keep them from browning. And then about an hour ahead of when I want to use it, I'll just dry them off and add my rosemary. The fondue experience would not be complete without the belle of the ball, chocolate. This simple chocolate fondue comes together quickly, and it's super creamy because of the coconut milk. I like to dip a variety of fruit, or on special occasions, like maybe the holidays, I'll make a dense cake or even some small cookies to dip in addition. You could also add things like pretzels or even dried fruit if you'd like. This is just one of the ways to do fondue. There are many, and I've adapted this to work for me and my family. You could also have an Asian-themed dipping experience with a hot pot or shabu shabu. A fondue spread like this will take hours to enjoy. That's the great part about using it for entertaining. Start with a fun cocktail, add some fine wine, and finish with a liqueur that complements the chocolate. I really like Chambord. It's one of my favorites, and sometimes I even add it to the chocolate fondue itself. Think of some good conversation starters and enjoy the process of creating a unique dining experience for your guests. One of the best ways to advocate from your plate is to show others just how easy and delicious plant-based eating can be. I guarantee no one will leave this dinner saying, "Oh, that was okay, but it would have been better with meat." They will just rave about how interesting and cool the experience was, and how everything was so delicious, and how you are the perfect host. Hi there. Let's take a look at how to make a plant-based dessert bar. Now, I know you might be thinking that desserts are hard without animal products. I used to think that, but a plant-based dessert bar can be very satisfying. I love to have a plant-based dessert bar as an option for my guests because it allows them to sample a few different things. I like to keep things really small and add variety with some fruit in season and chocolate. Those are always on my dessert bar because seriously, what dessert bar is complete without chocolate? I don't know. You can definitely go all out with baking desserts, but actually desserts are not my forte. I like to put a lot of effort into my main meal and then have something easy for dessert. So what I'm going to show you today is pretty easy and doable. When I think about a dessert bar, I like to think of 3 to 4 different items. Now, this is really nice if you're having a late night event, maybe a game night, or you could do this in conjunction with an appetizer spread. When you're creating a dessert bar, try and think of items that can be made ahead of time. And think of things that you can cut into small serving sizes, because that way your guests can take a little bit of everything and have some variety in what they taste. I also like to consider taste and texture so that they're things that go together. And always have something unexpected. Today I have some simple ginger cookies, a 3-ingredient chocolate banana brownies, and some dessert balls. And my unexpected add is candied ginger dipped in chocolate. I also have some fruit. All of these things can be made the day ahead, so all you have to do before serving is arrange your platter. Now, these ginger cookies are so easy to make, and they are a crowd favorite. I like to make some with a little sugar on top and some without the sugar on top, so my guests have a choice. And instead of serving big chunks of the brownie, I like to cut them into small bite-sized pieces. Today I'm having 3 different dessert balls: peanut butter, and I have one dipped in chocolate and one just plain, and cranberry walnut. I like the variety and the visual difference. Now, you don't have to make these in the food processor, but it does make things a little bit easier. To consider when you're making a dessert bar is what you'll serve to drink. Now, I always offer coffee and tea, but I'd like to include a special drink, and I like to think of one that still tastes good either with or without alcohol. This peppermint julep is one of my favorite holiday drinks, and it's really good either with or without the vodka. All of these recipes can be found on my website. The links are below in the notes. I hope you give this a try and create your own dessert bar because it's a lot of fun and your guests are going to love it. Salut! What do you think? These are very doable, and I'm confident that you can put your own twist on them and make them absolutely fabulous. If you want some help on how to order out when you're dining, maybe with family or friends over the holidays, grab your free ebook with help on how to order out, and it even has a wallet-sized cheat sheet. With this video and that free ebook, you're going to be set for entertaining. The links are in the show notes. Thanks for watching, and if you found this useful, like and subscribe for more tips every Tuesday on how to be successful on your plant-based journey. Have a beautiful day.